Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again. It's Saturday, so you know what time it is. It's my hero day. I was under the impression that they were only going to do the simul-dub for episodes 1 through 6. And then they were going to stop, and then I would have to have waited a month for the dub to come out. But, turns out they're actually continuing it. Oh, thank God. Thank fuck. So, in the last episode, we had, obviously Tokiyami was going mental. Shoji and Deku led him towards where Bakugo and Todoroki were. In turn, Tokiyami took out Moonfish, and Todoroki and Bakugo used their quirks to calm the beast. So, they were all back to normal. Yeah, so they've got they had a team. They had basically an Avengers team. It was pretty sweet. To protect Bakugo. They went through the woods. Met up with Ochako and Sue. And Bakugo was nowhere to be seen. And neither was Todoroki. Turns out this guy called Mr. Compressed him into the little fucking marble. And so they chase after him. And they seem to have caught up with him. Because now it's going to be a showdown between Todoroki, Deku, and Shoji versus Mr. Compress, Toga, Dabi, and Twice. Interesting. Yes, apparently there was a Nomu as well. They've attached a tracker, like fused a tracker to him or welded one. So yeah, awesome. So yeah, let's just without further ado, there's nothing else to talk about, to catch up on. So let's get straight into the video. Oh my god, man. This show is amazing. I just love it. I really fucking do. Oh. You know what's dawned on me, and like, I do hate myself for this, and it took for like Kirishima to have like sort of a more forward presence for me to actually write it down, because I've had this thought in my mind for ages, since like episode 10 or 11 of season 1. I mean, I've mentioned before that I like the partnership between Kirishima and Bakugo, but I don't think I've ever like really like, I don't think I've given Kirishima like his due, or like, you know, I don't think I've included him enough, you know, because obviously there are so many characters in this show that are so great that, you know, unfortunately, like, other characters end up getting overshadowed and things like that. So, but here's the thing: Kirishima is fucking great. I love him. You know, I love the fact that he's so worried for Bakugo. You know what I mean? Because it's his best mate. You know. And honestly, I'm fucking behind him all the way. I get that it, like, you know, people will comment and say, then talk about this whole lore thing. But at the end of the day, it's what heroes do. Even All Might said that fucking, you know, getting involved in things where you don't necessarily belong is the essence of being a hero, you know. He said that in season 2, you know. And it's the idea that, you know, I get why the law is there. I get it. The thing that I don't like about the law, like, involving quirks, is that regardless if you're doing it for the right reasons, you'll get punished anyway. That's the problem I have with it. There's no middle ground that they have. They don't take like everything into account and then pardon somebody because they did the right thing, you know. that's just the thing. I know people comment saying, look, you have to understand this is why this. Look, I understand why it's there. I don't agree with it. That's just the way it is. You know, so I'm honestly, I'm behind fucking, I'm behind Kirishima all the way on this one. I really am. I like how Ida was sticking to his guns though. Like after that whole, after the whole Stain incident and stuff. I like that continuation, obviously, of his character. That he's trying to uphold that. And it makes me wonder if he will continue with that. In a way, I hope that he does, even though that's not the side that I agree with. You know, because Ida is so earnest. You know, he's the character that I like believe the most when he says something. So you know, I kind of hope for the sake of his character and story that he does stick to his guns. You know, and it's not saying that, you know what I mean, he doesn't care for, you know, his classmate Bakugo because he's not willing to do what he's done. He just takes, he has a lot more respect for the like authority, and he wants to become a better hero, and he's being told, you know, that you should really get a handle on things and you shouldn't do things so much out of emotion. You know, the thing that I have trouble with because of the law in this series, and you know, like, you know, you'll get reprimanded for doing the right thing. It's because, you know, it was similar in Captain America Civil War. You know, Iron Man wanted to have his like his powers, what's the word? Yet again, I'm fucking struggling with the word. Under control. Like he didn't want them like to go all out like they did previously. And Captain America was like, no, that's bullshit. I know in my heart of hearts that I am doing this for everybody else. You know, there are going to be villains regardless, whether heroes decide to step up or not at the right time. You know, so there's always going to be destruction. I think people just like to point the blame. So, you know, the reason why they had the laws in place is so there wouldn't be a revolt and there wouldn't be a revolution for the people who are quirkless. And I just think that is the problem of the people who are quirkless then in this show. Like, they are not seeing the fucking bigger picture. They're just looking for somebody to blame. I think in a world where there is 80% of the world have quirks, you need to, like, they take priority now, you know? Because the quirkless are in the minority. They have to live with the fact that shit is not going to be normal. Shit's going to be happening pretty much every day. And there's nothing you can really do to stop that. Because people are going to use their powers for bad and good all the time, you know? Villains rise, like, if villains rise up, heroes are there to stop them. That's the whole point. And yeah, there may be collateral damage and shit like that, but that's the whole thing of being a hero. You go in knowing that you're risking your life to save others. That's the whole point. And that's the whole thing with Stain, and why so many people like so many people who watch this show actually like Stain as a character, because yeah, while he's like a villain, he's more of an anti-villain, I suppose, but you know, his ideals are kind of on point in what he says about heroes and stuff. I think I remember saying something like way back about how heroes in this show are not they're not the atypical hero, like in a sense of, you know, like Superman or whatnot, where it is like bare bones, you risk your life to save other people, right? You do it for like the ideal hero reason. But in this show, it's more profession-based a lot of the time. And sure, you have your heroes like here or there that are like idealistic and stuff. But you know, the world, this world is based around the hero, like a hero being a profession, you know. And yeah, they have these laws in place. I just think in a world that is, because of quirks, is so unpredictable, it's impossible to fully regulate a law against them. Like, because the law only dictates that the good people follow it. The bad people aren't going to follow that. So, what you're essentially doing there, right? That law, essentially, what it is doing is only essentially attaching a ball and chain to all of the heroes and giving villains, like, almost free reign to do what they want, because they're going to do it anyway. They're not going to listen to the law, are they? The villains. So the only thing you're doing there is literally... You're only fucking over the good people at that point. Like, because they can't do anything, you know? That's why I have an issue with it, alright? I think the law is just there to keep a revolution from happening. Well, in that case, then, the problem lies with the people who are quirkless. They need to understand that they live in a world where quirks are the thing that is happening all the time, and there's going to be bad people using it. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world is. And you know, you have to just deal with the fact that shit can happen at any time, and heroes are the ones that's going to help you there. You know what I mean? If you're fucking going on a if you're fucking joining a revolution because you know, heroes are fucking saving you, yeah, they're using their powers and there's collateral damage. That's just the way the world works now. Like, you can't really avoid that, can you? Anyway, rant over. Right, Vlad, the Blood King, he can control blood. It seems like he can harden it and stuff and shit like that. Interesting. We didn't really get, I don't think we got like a clear like description of what he can do with the blood, but that appears to be what it was. Yeah, so Dabby basically elaborated on the villain's plan, which is, you know, the general public are worrying because like All Might and all these other heroes are kind of complacent, and like the villains are slipping through and causing havoc, you know. And yeah, so basically that's their whole point. Their idea is to get the general public against the heroes and work them against, you know, that's the whole point. A little note, a little tip that I wrote down. I love how Todoroki was like immune to Dabi's fire. I like that, because like, you know, Deku and Shoji both said bloody hell, it's hot, they're not getting hurt by it, but Todoroki wasn't at all. It was great. I love the little things. It's the little things. Mr. Compress can compress himself, which is strange. Like, I don't know how his quirk works, but I would imagine like if he got compressed into a tiny ball, like how would he uncompress himself? You know? Interesting. And he can compress anything. So he was just compressing little bits of ice. There's a little diversion, little decoy, which is, yeah, fucking pretty good, pretty cool. Ragdoll is missing here. She's lost so much fucking blood. So much. And she's missing somewhere. I don't know where. No, I just don't know. She could be fully fucking dead for all I know. Bloody Jiro's still out. Oh, poor girl. And finally, one of the greatest things to hear is Bakugo, like, actually, like, worrying about Deku, but, like, also I feel like it has like another interpretation when he says "stay back, Deku." I mean, first of all, right, that one line is like an amalgamation of everything up until this point. Like, Bakugo has never once, like, been so... I mean, he's been sincere, but he's like... He's never worded anything that way to Deku before, like, in that kind of tone, you know? It's always been Bakugo speaking down to Deku, right? But in that one moment, like, in that one fucking moment, he told Deku just to stay back. Just to stay away. And I fucking loved it. Like, that is... Like, it just fills up my heart with, like, love. It's so great. It's so nice. Now, the other interpretation I have is, like, Bakugo maybe having thoughts of, look, if I'm here, if I'm where the villains are, right, then, like, obviously being Bakugo, like, he's like, I can take care of myself kind of thing. You know, if I'm here, you'll eventually track me down to, like, the villain's hideout. I'm just basing this off the fact that Bakugo's smart, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't surprise me if those kind of thoughts are rushing through his, like are in his head, where he's like, look, you know what I mean? I'll just allow myself to get captured. And you can just take me to wherever your fucking little den is, which will in turn give away where your den actually is. I can actually see that, you know what I mean? But also, like, if Bakugo understands exactly why they're taking him, you know, he will be so sure in himself that he will never, ever, ever become a villain. You know what I mean? So no matter how much they try to convert him into being a villain, I'm pretty sure he knows in his head that's just not going to happen. And I'm absolutely 100% sure that it won't happen either. I just know for a fact, right? I mean, it would be technically wrong to say a fact, because obviously I'm not, you know, obviously I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I can't read the future, but I'm just, to me, it's just a surety. Like, I know in my heart that Bakugo is not going to become a villain. I just know that he won't. I just know he won't. But yeah. Great episode, man. Great episode. And like, I wanted more with like that Bakugo and whatnot, but I guess we're gonna have to wait until like next week for that. So yeah, that is all. Yeah, I love this show. You know, somebody asked me, you know, what's my favorite show, Attack on Titan or My Hero, and it's My Hero. It is. I love Attack on Titan. I'm really, really loving it. But it's a different kind of show. It's like, you know, it's obviously not as feel good, Attack on Titan. It's obviously, you know, more along a sort of realistic approach, you could say. It's a lot more like gloomy, and like all hope is lost kind of feel. My Hero is very feel goody, and I just like the the team aspect. Like I love the kinsmanship that they have with each other, you know. And this episode in particular was great for me because, you know, that was the first time Bakugo's ever felt like or ever said anything like that to Deku, and it, like that that one line really fucking resonated with me. Like, it just like assures me that everything that I have ever thought about Bakugo, it just reassures me exactly why he's my favorite character. You know, because there's just more to him than he bullies people or he just feels like he's always on top. And I just think, you know, there's a hell of a lot more to him, and he's just, to me, he's just the most interesting character. And I guarantee this whole arc of him being captured will further demonstrate that. So yeah, that's all I've got. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.